Running a Shopify store sounds like freedom, right? Be your own boss, making money while you sleep. But for me, it didn't start that way. Before I built a six-figure Shopify store I now run part-time, I had multiple failed stores. And I made almost every single mistake you could possibly think of. Bad products, broken funnels, tons of wasted ad spend, and on top of that, zero clarity. I was hustling nonstop and asking myself, why isn't this working? And if you're in that place right now, overwhelmed, overworked, and frankly just stuck, this video is for you. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 brutally honest lessons that helped me turn my own Shopify store around. And if you apply them, you'll save months, even years of trial and error, grow faster, and you'll actually be able to build a store that works for you and not one that burns you out. So let's dive in. So lesson 1, it all starts with mindset. For a long time, I was stuck in survival mode. I was running ads, fulfilling orders, trying to fix my product pages up to 2 a.m. But deep down, I honestly didn't believe success was meant for me. So every time things would get hard within my business, I would always hesitate and second guess whether or not I should be running a Shopify store in the first place. And this lack of belief would also show up in my content, how I served people through my customer service, even within my pricing. Now, everything changed for me when I finally made the decision to fully back myself, not just with effort, but with belief. I stopped asking myself, what if this doesn't work? And I started asking myself, how can I make this work? This one mindset shift allowed me to take smarter risks, be more consistent, and to really start building and not just surviving. If you don't fully believe that your Shopify store will succeed, you will find yourself self-sabotaging even if you have the best tactics in the world. In the beginning, you almost have to operate in delusion and have almost blind trust in yourself that you know that no matter your obstacle, you can overcome it. So I recommend that you start there and feed yourself as much positivity and optimism as you can, because your mindset is really where everything begins. Lesson number 2, revenue means nothing. I remember like it was yesterday, I had made my very first 10K on Shopify and I was elated. Okay, whatever big word you can think of for happy, that's what I was. I was celebrating. I was telling my girl, like, I just knew I was gonna be rich forever. We were gonna be rolling in the dough. But when I actually sat down and started to look at my numbers after product cost, the ads I was running, shipping, the apps I was using, and transactional fees, I had barely made $800. Your boy was befuddled, okay, confused, perplexed. There was no way I had only made that much money. And that's when I realized that I didn't have a business. I had a cash burning hobby. So at this point, I knew I had to get serious. So I really started looking at my costs per product. I was really studying and analyzing my ads. And eventually I got to the point that I stopped looking at my top line revenue altogether. And I really was just looking at my profit per day. Once I analyzed what the problem was, I was able to increase my prices on low margin products. I removed any apps that I wasn't really using. And then I tried to optimize my fulfillment as much as possible. And by doing this, over the next few months, I was able to see a lot more profit for my business. So here's the lesson. Shopify will show you your sales, but it's your business to understand your numbers and your profit margins. And until you really understand your margins, you're just guessing. And I'm here to tell you, guessing is very, very expensive. So if you want to grow a business that pays you, stop chasing numbers that just look good and track the numbers that matter. Lesson number 3, your product isn't always the problem. When I released my very first clothing brand, I thought they would sell themselves. I thought the designs were fire, people would love them, they were unique, but sales were slow. So because of this, I started looking at my Shopify store. I started tweaking the product photos. I started tweaking the mock-ups. I started changing the colors on the website. Like everything I could think of to do, I started doing and nothing was working. So after a while, I just thought maybe it's just my designs. Maybe my designs aren't good enough. But here's the lesson that I learned. It wasn't the designs, it was my messaging. Honestly, I was just being way too salesy in all my communications. It was literally just new tea available, buy now, this is the t-shirt, etc. There was no story, no connection, no nothing. So once I finally realized that this wasn't working and stopped pushing my shirts, I decided to start talking about the reason behind the shirts in the first place. And this truthfully really actually worked. I got more shares, I got more saves, and I got more sales because of it. I started to realize that most people don't just buy clothes or product for that matter, they buy the messaging behind it. So for my clothing brand specifically, they're buying encouragement that they can wear. So if your Shopify store feels stuck, I almost can guarantee you it's not your product, it is your positioning behind it. You have to find a way to connect your product to an emotion that your ideal customer already feels. And if you can do that, I guarantee you that you will always be able to drive sales. Lesson number 4, there is no one right way. So let me be real with you. When I started my very first Shopify store, I feel like I was addicted to advice. I bought courses, I watched every single YouTube tutorial out there, and it felt like everybody was saying the same thing. If you follow this advice, you will have guaranteed success. And that's what I did, but unfortunately, the results didn't follow. And the reason for this is because none of this advice was built for my Shopify store and my brand. This advice that they were giving didn't speak to my customers, and honestly, it can't. Because no one knows your Shopify store and your brand like you do. What finally helped me grow my Shopify store wasn't following some guru's playbook. I started testing strategies that I thought aligned with my Shopify store, and I really started looking at the data. And truthfully, I valued my customer feedback the most, so I dropped anything that didn't make sense for my business, no matter how proven a guru said a certain strategy was. So here's a lesson that I want to share with you. There is a lot of value in listening to people that have accomplished things that you want to accomplish. However, you want to always be leading with the things that you know will work well for your business. And honestly, you should allow your own numbers and own data to really be the determining factor in what you should or shouldn't do for your business. Lesson number 5, more traffic doesn't mean more sales. Early on, I was doing everything that I could to drive as much traffic as possible to my Shopify store. I was running ads. I was posting on TikTok and Instagram. I was doing giveaways. Like everything that you can think of, I was doing, and truthfully, it worked. I was driving a ton of traffic to my Shopify store. However, this didn't turn into the amount of sales that I was looking for. At the time, I blamed my product, my website, my pricing, but truthfully, I was just talking to the wrong people. I was trying to appeal to everyone, which means I wasn't really connecting with anybody. So I decided to pause everything and I got laser focused on this one question. Who am I really trying to serve? And once I fully understood who I was really trying to serve with my Shopify store, I made sure to go back over my product pages, my content that I was posting, and my emails to make sure that all my communication points were all aligned to this one person. And the results of this were less people were just completely bouncing from my website. I got more add to carts and more conversions without having to completely change my product. So here's a lesson that I want to share with you. If your traffic isn't converting, it might not be your Shopify store. It might be the people that you're actually bringing to your Shopify store in the first place. So I recommend that you stop chasing clicks and start chasing the right clicks. Now, hopefully these lessons were extremely helpful and valuable for you, and let me know what was your favorite lesson in the comments down below. And also, if you need any personalized help with your own Shopify store, I would love to help you out. All you have to do is click the first link in the description down below. And if you still want to learn more valuable Shopify tips, I recommend that you check out this video right here.